Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Ethereum is still sort of sliding here. It's recovering a little bit. Bitcoin isn't really doing that today. We are still not breaking out here above any levels. We obviously reached my target range for this larger wave 2, which is very nice. Here on the chart you can see all the target areas that were reached actually. Fortunately, the larger wave 1 target area was missed by just $20. But then on the way down, we captured quite a few. So all these were reversal areas, and this is the bigger one. Yeah, so the main areas we actually have on the chart were these two, of the larger wave 1 and the wave 2. And this is exactly for anybody who likes to trade the larger swings, an amazing setup here at the moment. Now, again, this is never financial advice, but I can only share with you what I see in the chart right now. But the Ether chart is one of the more interesting charts out there at the moment. Definitely much better than Bitcoin. We had here a 1-2 setup, then a 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. So in terms of strategy, I mean, you never know if you have a 1-2 set. The first 1-2. Remember, we come from a long downtrend. This was basically the first 1-2 setup here. This obviously could have been an entry point. Now, I personally didn't enter until I think it was $1,000, just above 1,000. Told you back then, so that is nice. You know, I realized some of those profits around 1,700. But if you have, like, strategy-wise, after such a long downtrend, the first 1-2 setup you never really know. But we now get really into the environment where we have a very, very nice setup, because this is a larger 1-2, and then if it works out of this wave 3, there will be another 1-2 setup. So this is the best you can actually get in Elliott Wave, the 1-2-1-2. Because then with the second 1-2 setup, you know the trade is probably going to work out. You have a very tight stop and you can go in aggressively. Yeah, this is, you don't get that every day. You know, on a time frame like that, a 1-2 and then the other 1-2, which obviously hasn't happened yet. So to make a trade work, we want to see that and then be able to enter here, scale into the wave 2 maybe, get close to the support, setting the stop loss, and then could go in aggressively in that wave 3 that could take us to around $3,000. But yeah, that's where we are currently, and it's great. Now, can I promise to you that support is holding? Of course not. You can never do that. I know a lot of people always want to see that. They want certainty. You don't get certainty in these markets. Best just to understand that and to manage expectations. You just don't. I know a lot of people promise you that, but it doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. Best, because if you believe there is certainty, that's a recipe for failure. Yeah, I still see that in the comments. I know there's new viewers coming in every day, but I try to mention it whenever possible in the videos so that you learn it. But, you know, from coming down here in this wave 2, my strategy, again, I believe that we're bottoming out here in the region between 1280 and 1130. We could still drop lower. As long as we hold above $1,000, this setup is valid. Below $1,000, it will get unreliable. So, of course, there is always a risk when you're catching the knife, as we do here to the downside. There is a risk of catching the knife that it might just drop further. But I still start to accumulate. So that is normally what I do in these areas when we come into them. In the larger 1-2 setup, in a wave 2, I would accumulate. This would be the positions that I'm not too worried about. I wouldn't normally use stop losses for that. This is more for hard wallet accumulation, code wallet accumulation. Not a hardware wallet or a code wallet accumulation. Of course, you can set a stop loss. If I set a stop loss here, it would be below $1,000. But really, this is for long-term accumulation and has more of a risk of not working out, because as long as you only have the 1-2 setup, you have no idea if this is going to work out. Theoretically, this could just be a corrective move up and then the impulse is following down, right? But if we see the 5 waves up and the 3 waves down, and then get off the third wave to the upside, the first 1-2 setup. This is then, when you scale into this wave 2, the area where it's interesting to scale in. You can become quite aggressive, because then you know you have a 1-2, 1-2, and you're already in the wave 3, and this would be then the proper trade. This is more where you need to understand it could still drop lower. Here the risk is massively reduced, and this is proper trading then. Here the first 1-2 setup is more for, yeah, it probably will work out, but there's no guarantee, right? In the very short term now, just to look at that, here it remains the view that we will need another low, ideally. Ideally, we need another low. Important is now that we don't break above 1400. Now, we haven't done that yet. We're still quite far away from it. Until we go above 1400, I believe we will come down once more to make here the 3, 4, 5 complete, possibly in the region 1150. If we break above 1400s, it probably means that we have already got the bottom in place here at 1220, and we're already in the 1-2 setup. Okay, so anybody who could still trade the breakout, yeah, I usually don't trade breakouts because it's quite expensive and you're far away from support. Of course, you can do that, but I would then wait for the wave 2 retracement and go in quite aggressively here. If we go once more lower now, I already bought at 1250. If we go down once more, I will accumulate once more, waiting for that 1-2 setup. All right, that's my update about ETH. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.